Welcome back. You're watching KTN Business Today, and we're coming to you live from the Kenya School of Monetary Studies here in Ruaraka, where the 25th Economic Symposium is currently underway. And I've been able to get a few of those that were making presentations in this particular symposium. And we are now joined by the former planning minister, that is Henry Obuoha, to my extreme left. And just sitting next to him, we have Dr. Jason Lakin, who is the country manager for the International Budget Partnership. Many thanks, gentlemen, and thank you for your patience. Let's just start off looking at this particular symposium. It comes at an interesting time where Kenya is at a crossroad of sorts. We are having to finance a budget of 2.6 trillion shillings. We are having a number of strikes. There's issues around, the Auditor General has raised concerns around fiscal management. Perhaps, Dr. Lakin, how is the economy being run?
Thanks, Gina. I don't know whether we are at a crossroads today or this is just accumulation of things which have been happening for a long time. I think we have a number of challenges that we need to confront in terms of the way in which we finance the budget and the way in which we pay civil servants. And of course, this being an election year, there's a lot of pressure coming from labor unions to see wages going up. And we have been dealing with these strikes for some time, and I expect we are still going to be dealing with them for some time. One of the challenges that we have, I think, under the new dispensation is that we thought we might be able to control the wage setting process in a more rational way through the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. But I think that has proved to be very challenging, and it remains a fragmented process.
Perhaps, Obuoha, you want to weigh in on this?
Yes, I would like to say that on budget, everybody knows that a budget is an estimate on what is expected to be done. Therefore, this being an election year, there are so many demands that they are to be accommodated. But in the end, as you know, not all those that have come up will be implemented unless enough money is raised. Number two, the way, of course, the national debt is going, the government may be cautious not to increase too many projects that are expensive and try and implement those ones that are existing. Therefore, on the budget, I would say, as a professional accountant, a budget is an estimate on what you want to do, where you want to go, because you don't want to go as if you don't know what the country wants.
All right.
So that would be my comment.
Interesting insight there. And perhaps looking at some of the key areas of discussion in this symposium is on economic stewardship. Perhaps looking at Kenya's economy right now, we've seen the World Bank, the IMF coming up saying that we need to watch our debt levels. Of course, we've seen the GDP targets being revised downwards. Perhaps as a country, are we heading into the right direction in terms of our borrowing and also generally fiscal management?
Thanks, again. I mean, I think it's quite a complex matter. And one of the things that it is true, as you say, that whereas a couple of years ago, the international institutions were saying that we are very comfortable with the debt levels and so forth, now they have begun to start raising questions about whether we are moving in the right direction.
Okay.
I think that the fact is that our borrowing levels remain at the level that they are still sustainable, but we are seeing them accelerate very quickly, and that's raising questions about whether we are moving in the right direction.
All right. Obuoha, your take on that?
My take on that is that the levels at which the debt levels are at around 48% is indeed manageable. But the manner in which we are moving is that those who are in charge of Treasury should be careful and advise how we move on the debts we want to incur as a country. There are more urgent issues, but the manner in which we move should be calculated so that we don't plunge the country in debt. I also want to add that in the past, many of us who are in Treasury would make a budget in intervals. That is, if there is a project you are undertaking, you can spread the expenditure over, say, 3 years, so that you don't have all the debt accumulated in 1 year. As it appears, some of the projects were overrated, and the expenditure was estimated to be incurred in 1 year.
Well, many thanks, gentlemen. Many people waiting to see how the country will be taking up this financial year's budget. A lot of questions around also fiscal spending in the country. And of course, we still will be having this conversation. We have 2 other accountants who will be joining us in a short while. But as you know, every Thursday we have The Adventurer. And on this week's Adventurer, Ashley Mazuri went out and about to just get some of the young people and what they're doing differently when it comes to job creation.
A contemporary Kenyan take on a decade-old Chinese cult classic, the karate movie, scripted, acted, made in Kenya, the equipment rudimentary, the innovation groundbreaking, the fun elementary. So how does this and other Kenyan film products come together, and what equipment do they use? We sought to answer this question and ended up in Uthiru area of Nairobi with a man whose equipment has played a role in shooting Netflix series Sense8, the Sauti Sol hit Nishike, the hit series Keru, and local movies The Kidnap and Queen Bee.
Mimi naitwa Paul Kihuha ama Protisa, wasi wengi sana wanajua Protisa. Mimi ni fundi. 2002 hivi ndio niliachia shule class 8. And so nimegrow tu kama mse wa kawaida, but mimi ni fundi, a normal fundi. Mimi make to anything, kuanzia gates, milango, na time nilikam ikafika nikatengeneza equipment za video. And kumbe Kenya tulikuwa na njaa ya equipment, unaona, so at least nikapata hiyo chance.
For a class 8 dropout, Paul is living proof that skills that even without necessary education needed is vital for succeeding. But how exactly did he get to where he is?
Vile nilikuja nikakuwa na interest na chuma, sikuwa na workshop. Nilikuwa natumia workshop ingine ya jamaa fulani huko juu. Yeah, cause nilikuwa na make robots, unaona. So at least ndivyo niweze kupata machines, nilikuwa natumia workshop ya mtu. Mmoja nilikuwa nimekaa hivi nikiwatch show, sikumbuki ilikuwa show gani ya Kenya, and nika realize nikaona siri. Nikaona tu siri, nikajua reason movies za majuu na zetu ziko tofauti. Nijua kitu moja tu ndogo sana. Si utry kukua complicated. Majuu mara mingi utakuta shot yao iko kwa slider, kwa jib, kwa dolly. So nika decide ni aje si ni try ku make equipment the video.
200 shillings was the amount he used to acquire scrap metal used to make his first ever tripod. After testing it out in several River Road productions for free, Paul slowly built his clientele. But that was 2013. Things have far changed.
Point ilikam watu wakaanza kuhaya. Nasikia mtu anakuofa 1000, 2000. Mpaka saa hii mimi haya hadi 20k a day. Jibu ya kwanza ilikuwa heavy, ilikuwa inakaa vibaya. Kajibu ka saa hii kanakaa ka light, alafu kanakaa vipoa.
Paul's approach to running a business is quite unique. Instead of constantly making products and waiting for clients, he waits for clients first.
Kitambo nilikuwa na shop. Nilikuwa na mahali nimeweka hizo equipment, like anyone akitaka anakam, but nika realize si leti solution, kwa sababu sana equipment ya nje unakuta haijatengenezwa ya kutumika huku. So unaelewa, wametumia soft metal, number 1. Number 2, pieces, size ya piece. Labda ukuwe na pickup ndio uweze kubeba. And nika realize Kenya production ni ku grow ina grow. So wasi wengi ni upcoming, hawana vans, yani ama gari kubwa za kubeba equipment. So mimi na work na kutoka kwa client. Niambia nataka jib, inakaa hivi, inakaa hivi, inakaa hivi. At least anammekia kutoka hapo.
Having worked with big productions like Sense8 and still making film equipment to props to even makeup and sets, Paul is a jack of all trades when it comes to the film industry. However, challenges are inevitable. Here are his.
I wish time ingekuwa times 2. But solution ya hiyo challenge ni kukuwa na watu wengi wenye wanawak kwangu. Mimi sina pesa ya kulipa hao wase. Saa zingine una make equipment ina fail. Umepea client equipment inaenda inaangusha kamera. Unaona? So hiyo inabidingi ni loss. Tena.
Lights, camera, action. Words commonly known to us. But behind the lucrative film industry lies innovative entrepreneurs like Paul Kihuha, making a difference with the equipment they make. I am Ashley Mazuri, and this is The Adventure.
Interesting feature there from Ashley Mazuri. And we're still coming to you live from the Kenya School of Monetary Studies, where the 25th Economic Symposium is taking place. And joining me right now is CPA Makoha Wanjala, who is going to be talking to us just about some of the key outcomes of this symposium. On my extreme left, we have Kenneth Gishinga, who is an economist, will also be giving us the state of the economy in brief. Perhaps, Mr. Wanjala, looking at this symposium, other than having stakeholders talking about issues affecting the economy, are we likely to see key policy recommendations being drafted out of this symposium?
Thank you, Agina. It is true that, one, as you rightly said, we have done this for the last 25 years. What we normally do is at the end of the event, there are resolutions that we will be arriving at on Friday. And we normally then progress this to the appropriate government institutions for purposes of uptake. Mm-hmm. And just to perhaps pick some of the things that we've already seen, one is that professionals are being called to engage more. The whole issue of devolution, the whole issue of public participation in these processes. Mm-hmm. And we have seen gaps in terms of how the profession of, specifically the accountants, have come out to take up their roles. We have actually gotten challenge from our colleagues, the certified public secretaries, who came out very clearly and ensured, for example, that the CSS who then serve in the County Public Services Board are their members. Mm-hmm. They have, in fact, also formulated a guiding document in terms of how that process goes forward. Okay. So I would say that arising from this symposium, you expect to see more active engagement from the accountancy profession in Kenya. Interesting.
And perhaps, Kenneth, looking at this symposium, and also you also did compile an interesting state of the economy report. And we are seeing devolution is becoming a critical area of focus for the country in terms of ensuring there is devolved growth. And 4 years on into devolution, what do you make of how counties have been performing?
Well, I think it's been a mixed bag of results. Some areas it's been very successful, but in some areas such as health, for example, it appears that there's a lack of clarity on whether the health function was devolved too early or too late. But net, I think a lot of people say it's brought power closer to the people. Mm-hmm. I think we are seeing a lot of economic activity in areas that would never have been touched by the national government. So I'm still very positive, but it's a cautious type of optimism. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And Wanjala, one of the key themes of this symposium is economic stewardship. And is it that economic stewardship is lacking in Kenya, or why aren't we getting it right when it comes to debt management and also just prudent fiscal management?
Thank you. We deliberately chose the theme around issues of economic stewardship and resilience in the economy And the reason is perhaps very important because we are in an election year, and this happens once every 5 years.
Yeah.
Kenyans get a chance to choose stewards. So we have the view that this was an opportune moment for us to reflect back. And it has come through in terms of the presentations by the experts that we brought on board, that generally we have gone through 3 cycles. There is the Kenyatta 1 cycle, the Moi cycle, the Kibaki cycle, and obviously the current government, which is a bit too early to in sort of a way evaluate them. But a quick takeaway is that every political cycle has had an impact on the economy. So we are asking ourselves as professionals, one, is there a way in which we can create resilience in the economy so that we do not always have to have a dip every time we head to elections? And two, how then do professionals then engage in terms of helping society pick the correct stewards?
All right. Interesting. And perhaps, Kishinga, economic management has been an area where we've seen lobby groups coming out saying that Kenya is not going in the right direction in terms of its fiscal spending, its insatiable appetite to spend. Perhaps have we lost it as a country?
I don't think we've lost it. But I think there's a tale of 2 cities happening in Kenya. On the one level, we are seeing we've seen numbers of about 6% growth, but that has been purely driven by public spending on the mega infrastructure projects, the standard gauge railway, which in the fullness of time will be able to bring some economic prosperity to the people. But when I do my economic research, what I'm noticing is a lot of people are not feeling that trickle-down effect. And in fact, one of the policy recommendations I made in my report is we need to have a small stimulus package for SMEs and for small markets, because the full impact of the major infrastructure projects is still yet to be received, especially in the counties.
All right.
Yeah.
Parting shot to Anjala on how accountants have been at the center of all this, and just make it brief in terms of corruptions. How have accountants been able to handle this?
My profession, and I speak as an accountant, we have always been accused that we perhaps are not too strong because on the path through which resources leave organizations, be they private or public, you get accountants on that chain. It's not necessarily true that we haven't been strong. People have been strong in this country, and as a profession, we do know many of our gallant sons and daughters who have lost jobs. Some have even lost their lives trying to defend that which is real. And even in the current scenario, as we speak today, there are quite a number of our own professionals that we are very proud about, and we encourage them to remain firm. However, just to pick up from where my colleague has indicated as we wrap this up, there is need for the persons that are involved in the budgeting process to deliberately create avenues for the SMEs to benefit. And what do I have in mind? For example, every time there's a big consultancy, then this needs to be structured in a manner such that then you have to partner with other small firms, and that achieves 2 things. One, there is knowledge transfer, and 2, there is also in terms of capacity resource transfer. Okay. Because as you would see, we are investing in big infrastructure projects in this country, but who are the consultants who are doing this work? We are simply taking the money away from this country again. Thank you.
Fantastic. Many thanks, gentlemen there. Kenneth Kishinga, economist, as well as CPA Makoha Wanjala, just talking to us about some of the key aspects you're seeing in the economy. What are the trends that have continued to define Kenya's economy? Of course, the outlook for this year is quite optimistic, and we've seen analysts also coming out saying there needs to be a sense of caution as well. Many thanks for your valued company. We've been coming to you live from the Kenya School of Monetary Studies, where the 25th Economic Symposium will be coming to a close tomorrow. On behalf of the entire crew, many thanks. Coming up next is Worldview. My name is Abi again.